Y'all like this? How do you think this will look as a YouTube video intro? With the title, bring it in with the music. Today, it's an analysis on like Papaleo's a salty mofo. Wouldn't that be cool? Alright, how do we feel about this animation here? Because there's somebody helping me with these? With this? Her breast can jiggle some more? What are you, some kind of anime pervert or something? Remember when I used to write and make videos? Here we go. Why aren't you playing Guilty Gear? This is a 1,200 word essay. Y'all want to read it? You got a funny clip, IMO? Okay. Oh no. You know this has happened to me, right? So y'all want to read this paper? Let's see. Let's get a track here. Nah. Y'all know this one? So, why you aren't playing Guilty Gear? So, there is an idea that the energy it takes to do something is multiplied to a great degree simply because it is something different than normal or usual routine. Let's say you wake up for work, brush your teeth, shower, fulfill your shift, go home, cook, or retrieve dinner, then, play some Dota or watch TV for the time remaining in the day. So let's give it a figure. Your typical workday takes 100 energy to complete. And you've been doing this routine for a long time, right? Now, when you have to do something different, like go to the bank, or to the DMV, or call the dentist, or maybe get something from Home Depot. Let's say that these tasks take 3 times the energy to complete. They're unappealing activities, but they demand your attention. Nonetheless, they are mandatory. But it's not just that mandatory tasks take a bigger expenditure of energy to complete, is it? When you think of like a trip to a movie theater, right? That's not something you do every day. Or going out to dinner with your family, or maybe picking up a new hobby, right? This heightened expenditure of energy is counteracted or decreased by a couple factors. Primarily like having fun, doing things with a friend, or having a goal in mind. So now that we have that, you want to play Guilty Gear, right? So why aren't you playing Guilty Gear? Well, there's a great many fallacies and unrealistic viewpoints that inhibit newer or adjacent prospective fighting game players from getting into Gear. The way that it happens is like, we hear these things about playing fighting games is self-sabotage, right? It's self-sabotage. You hear like, it's too hard, or everybody's too far ahead, right? So why don't we try and dispel some common disbeliefs about picking up the game, right? If you want to get into Guilty Gear Strive, or any fighting game in general, you may have thought these things. So, fallacy number 1. There's a new version of the game coming out, and I'm waiting for it. So, it sounds like you want to play. It doesn't really matter what version of the game you play. So if you want to play, then why aren't you playing now? Before the new version comes out. Do you guys understand the terminology carpe diem? Carpe diem? Seize the day. It means make the most of the time that you have been allotted. If you want to be good at something, why not now? The games and the characters are mechanically similar, and even if you play a character that isn't in Guilty Gear Strive, hypothetically, playing anything at all prior to launch will prepare you that much better. So fallacy number 2 is, everyone who plays is just going to be too good. But surely, there's always going to be someone better than you when you're just starting. But little do you know, this is forever. There's always going to be somebody better than you. Hell, take it from me. I've won EVO North America and a bunch of people think I'm the best player right now. But there's always somebody better. Especially when you're just starting, you have to accept it. Yeah, somebody's going to be better than you. So fallacy number 3 is, I'm afraid that I'm gonna be bad or I'm gonna get stomped. You know, I don't want that. Well, really, you shouldn't take losing so seriously. Think about it like this. If you learned or if you had fun, you won. Yeah, I know it sounds like some fucking Christian school ass second grade fucking golden rule, do unto them as they would do unto you, blah blah blah. Yeah, but this shit is fucking serious, bro. Check it out. If you're not having fun with the game, and if you're not getting better, then why are you playing it? You know? It doesn't really matter where you are as you are now. It's where you want to be. Don't think about like the floor, think about what you want to do. If you really feel that you are that bad, there's always going to be a way to find people at your level of play. So don't worry. And fallacy number 4 is, I don't have an arcade stick. How am I going to play? Hey, you ever seen Brawly Legs? Or you ever seen Butterfree? I think Butterfree from Melty Blood plays on keyboard, right? I mean, there's a number of people who play on anything from like Sega Saturn to like a cardboard box with a PCB, you know, hot glued on the inside of it and buttons taped to the outside. And fallacy number 5 is a big one, that there's too much to learn. Really, I think we tend to think too big when we're just starting out, right? That you have to learn all your character's combos against every character in every weight class and master every matchup and practice for hours and hours, right? Just break it down, you know, do it little by little at your own pace, but don't think of it all at one time. You know, perhaps at first, like, don't overcomplicate it. Maybe you should just start the game up and play arcade mode. And, you know, match some buttons, experiment. You don't have to think too much about, like, the end goal, right? You want to be a top level player, be world renowned. You can just start playing at any time and go from there. In short, don't overcomplicate it. Just play. So these fallacies are pretty easy to confront and shoot down logically, right? If you've thought of one of these fallacies or mistruths before, but now have seen the truth, why aren't you playing still? And fallacy number 6 is, I don't know. I'm just lazy. What is laziness? What do you think? Unwillingness. Sure. Procrastination. Fear. Inertia. Yes, you see, now this has become something emotional. Lack of discipline. Lack of motivation. The comfort zone. This is where now it gets deeper. So, laziness is a word that's generally unfair to the subject. It's actually like pretty difficult if you really examine somebody's behavior and what they're all about to characterize them as lazy. 99% of the time, what you perceive as somebody being lazy, there's a lot more going on with them. The word lazy can be a cop-out for much more serious and like substantial personal or like serious life issues underneath what you see. So really, think carefully. If you have the time, and you have the desire to do so, what's the real reason why you aren't playing Guilty Gear? Because it's not X-Turd? Alright. What's the real reason? Grad school? Tired of fighters? Taking a break? College. It's hard and you don't want to learn a new kind of game. Character crisis. Lack of a rank system. Every character's a gorilla. Alright, keep it down. Yeah, you got me to laugh. Whatever. So let's talk about some of those. You don't have the time. The real reason is that you are not thinking about making the time, taking away from something else you are doing. How many hours do you spend browsing Twitter? How many hours do you spend plugging away at games like League of Legends or Valorant? Frustrated. Does that time spent give you any skills or anything substantial truly? Do you have the time and it's just someplace else? So the real reason maybe you don't have the energy to pursue Guilty Gear. You may just have too much energy devoted to other tasks. Things like you're already pursuing other real hobbies or supporting your family and loved ones or working hard at your job or school. You might not have the motivation to pursue Guilty Gear. Even though the loss of time or funds to try Guilty Gear might not seem that high, and even though you're here, right? You're here. You're right here. You still can't seem to find the willpower to get into it on your own. Your reasons are your own. Luckily, you don't. It's not like you had to do it right now. You don't have to learn Guilty Gear right now. It's always gonna be there, like waiting for you, whenever the time is right. What we've discussed can be applied to just about any hobby or skill. Why aren't you learning a new language? Or why aren't you learning to cook? Why aren't you working out and walking or jogging every day? Why aren't you learning sewing for your cosplay? Really, all of what I've talked about, it's not about Guilty Gear. It's about anything you've wanted to do. So, why aren't you doing it?